Good morning, everybody. Mike Wright from Edge Home Finance for the Realtor of the Week podcast. We appreciate y'all being here. But more importantly, I got a great buddy of mine, Jack Lilleodden.
Hey guys.
Is that proper?
Yep, that's correct.
Powered by EXP Realty and the Tyler Miller team.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for being here, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having me on.
Oh, it's fantastic. I know you were on with Brady a while back.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you both being on, of course. And Tyler is the absolute best, you know?
Pretty good guy.
Pretty good guy. Pretty good?
Glad.
Tyler, did you hear that? Pretty good, you know?
I'm just glad I get to learn from both of them, so.
Geez, and now that I thought about it, I don't even have my Tyler Miller hat on. Sorry, buddy. So anyways, thank you very much for being on.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
So tell me how you got into this beautiful world of real estate.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to get into real estate. It's always been kind of like a passion of mine or like something that I thought I'd enjoy. And then I started getting into it, and now it's just been everything I've dreamed of. And
so from high school to real estate?
So around like 12 years old, I'd say, my Nana had passed away and they were selling her house.
Oh.
And we had just like sat down with the realtor for a couple hours, and I chatted with her for like an hour, and at the end of the conversation she was like, you'd be great in real estate. And ever since then it just stuck with me. Well,
and what I love about your crew is that you have so many leaders there.
Yes.
Right? All the way from, like I said, Brady, to Tyler, to TK, to, the grocers. I mean, it's just such a tight-knit group.
Yeah, and they all are there to help and support and just watch you grow. So
what's kind of been your take diving into this thing? I know you're doing some video.
Yep. I think I'm trying to just do everything right now. Try to hop all around the board and meet as many people as I can and just learn as much as I can and gain people's perspectives on how they run their business. And
just open houses.
Yeah, super big right now. Well, I guess big all the time, but yeah, open houses are definitely huge, and I'm trying to stick to 1 or 2 a week.
I think that from what I've learned from your crew, and being in the grocers open house with Nick, etc., is that these open houses are gold.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives you the opportunity to meet with people.
Get in front of them.
Walking in. How has that been?
It's been not bad. And, they're a little bit slower this time of year, which happens. But it also gives you more of, a one-on-one. I just had one yesterday, and I had 3 great conversations, maybe 20-minute conversations with all 3. And a couple of them are possibly, some hot buyers. So
good.
Yeah.
Well, and I think Jack, the key is that the people you get now are serious.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And whereas you get a lot of neighbors and all this other stuff rolling through these things during the summer just because it's beautiful out or fall, etc. But now you're getting the people that are serious, both on the sales side and on the walking through properties.
Yeah. I mean, sellers are serious too. They want to get rid of their properties. I feel like we're seeing a lot of people contingent right now. So it'll be interesting.
Well, and I think, and I know Tyler and these guys teach you this stuff all the time, but the time to buy is now because come spring, it's going to be a fire hose, right? And there's going to be multiple offers. And there's, I know you guys do role playing. Mm-hmm. Tell the crowd on what you talk about during these role play deals.
Once a month we get together and we kind of TK's team are they were just rebranded to Elevated, right?
Yeah, Elevated. I like the name.
Yeah, great name. So Elevated and our team will get together I think it's the first week of each month, and we do a script battle. So we'll just have a select couple people get picked, and then they battle each other, and we'll have a couple objections or possible things that we hear a lot, and then we just battle to see who can kind of handle the objection better.
Have you gotten the belt yet?
I have not.
Come on, bro. Let's go.
We got some good battlers.
Yeah.
And it's just super great to be a part of because you get to see what other people do in those situations.
It's brilliant.
And then we sit down and talk about it for the next 30 minutes, and everybody gets input. And now we have 10 different ways to handle this objection.
Yeah.
And so now it makes me feel more like confident when I'm talking about it.
With this new transition, and you didn't get a huge dose of the old commission stuff, but are these the things that you're talking about? I mean, are you talking about inspections, purchase agreements, counters?
Yeah. So
what are some things you're going over?
Yeah, so with the whole settlement, after the script battle, we kind of do a little master class.
Yeah.
So we'll have either some of the top producers or some of the new agents that are doing very well, kind of just talk and go over what's making them successful and all that stuff. But pretty much the class is just, we get to hear from the people who understand it best. And like Tyler's connecting with higher up agents and his upline and all this stuff, and hearing information from top people at EXP and kind of just working that way. So I don't really have to worry about much other than showing up.
Be a sponge.
Yep.
And I think that is so critical, but I think also from your perspective, it's what, you want to just be like I said, a sponge to all this information. Is it easy for you to absorb? Because you don't know any bad habits. You're learning from the best.
Yeah. It's easy, but it's also, I've definitely came into some situations where it's like, some things will just not work well for me. That work well for other people.
Yeah.
And that's what I have to just take the pill as. Because I think before I was so focused on just trying to do everything everyone else is doing instead of making it my own way.
Yeah.
But do what they're doing, just turn it into what works for me.
Well, and I think, Jack, what I've learned in my long career is you have to do what you love, because it's like anything. If you start working out, it may sound great for 2 days, 3 days, but if it sucks, it sucks.
Yep.
Right? I know Jake and I talk, and he doesn't want to run, but he's methodically in the gym every single morning grinding. Right?
Yep.
What do you like about what do you enjoy about the business that you're habitually can do?
Just conversations every day. I think I love talking to people. That's how I get my
mojo.
Yep. It just gives me energy, gives me I'm an extrovert,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the biggest thing that drives me in, and just being able to help people too. Helping people is my favorite thing to do, make other people happy. If I get to see someone else smile because of me, that makes me happy. So
are you, when you talk about being an extrovert in this business, is it you're meeting people, here's my information, you share an app, or here's a card? I mean, are you that type of a person?
Not really.
Okay. I'm
more of let's chat, get to know me, and if you like me, then here we go. I'll give you a card or a gift.
Yeah.
But I want to communicate. I don't want to push anything on anyone or kind of be like that type of vibe. I want it to be more of hey, if you want to work with me, work with me. If you don't, don't.
Well, and everybody knows 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that what would you say differentiates you from others, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think is those traits? Because you are new to the business.
Yeah. Well, that's a huge thing too. Because I'm new, I have a lot of time on my hands of things that I just don't have in my schedule yet. So I have a lot more time to be able to do things.
Yeah.
So if I get clients right now, I can put a lot more time into them, which is super nice. And then also I'm driven. If I start something, I'm not going to be able to sleep good until it's finished or until I feel confident about it before I go to bed.
Have you ever thought about, you talk about doing 1 or 2 opens a weekend.
Yep.
Do you ever go to other realtors' opens?
I've been to 1. I think I want to go to more.
I would encourage you to do more because you've got your amazing team.
Yep.
Right? But there's so many different ways to, I hate saying skin to cat, but there's so many other ways to do the business that why not go to other open houses just as a buyer?
Just to hear.
Right? And, whether you give them your information or you openly say, I'm newer into the industry, You get to learn from some of the best because it's, EXP is phenomenal, but there's a lot of phenomenal companies.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the big things that drew me to EXP too, is just how they collaborate, even though it's not collaborating with every brokerage, but just being the brokerage so big, there's so many other people with EXP in Minnesota.
Yeah.
That just being able to, like, McPherson's, I've held multiple opens for them, and just seeing how other people run their businesses. And like when I hold opens for the McPherson's, they have like little note cards stating things about the house, around the house, and I like that idea. So maybe I'll implement that in my listings, and just certain things that I think being out there helped me, just like you said, sponge absorb it all.
And I think the other thing that Nick and I did when we did the Minnetrista Open on the DeRozier's $2 million listing is it's okay to door knock.
Yeah.
And say, hey, I got an open if you guys want to stop by.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another idea. But you have some hitters in your deal. I mean, do they encourage you to try different things that you may fail at, but that's okay.
Well, and it's super nice having like the 3 top producers on our team being around my age, and like we have Brady, Max, and Nathan just all killing it right now.
Yeah.
And they all run their business differently.
Right.
So it's very cool to be able to see all the things that work for them and then figure out what's going to work for me and be trying the different things. And they all are just there to help implement their strategies for me.
Well, I always, when I do these podcasts, and I get people from you up to people that have been in the business forever, and it's so cool to see how even people that have been in the business forever still learn.
Yep.
And, Tyler and TK and even the DeRoziers are a prime example that they're still going to listen to podcasts. They're still flying out to see different expos.
Yep.
And you can't ever stop learning.
Yep.
What has been your wins and losses? I mean, have you felt like you walked out of it, 1 week, you just go, my God, this business is shitty.
I'm definitely starting to see some of the sides of the business where people are like, yeah, real estate's a lot. Yeah. Actually just had a situation with a buyer where it was a new build, and the listing agent of the new build wasn't responding to me, and we wanted to put an offer in. Finally responded to me the next day, and he sold it that morning. So we had a little mess up there. Was able to figure it out. We got her into another one. But just that day kind of settled into me that it's not all butterflies and sunshine.
Yeah.
It's definitely some things that'll happen that you just I never would have expected would. So
I think the key, Jack, is the consistent, persistent, and patience, because you probably have not been through a November, December, January, February that just is freaking brutal.
Yeah.
But stay positive and lean on those people that you've got within your team, because there's going to be days like, freaking, I'm not getting paid. This is bullshit. You know what I mean? And bank on those guys, because I think that's very, very helpful. How has, give me a few things that Tyler has done that kept you motivated. Every
time we talk, it's always about what's your, like, what's next?
Yeah.
Or like, he's always like, how can he help me improve? So it'll be either what's your situation that just happened, and then how are we going to improve it next time? Or what's the situation we're going to put ourselves in? And so he's always pushed me to do something. It's always like, what are we going to do? It's not like, oh, good job doing that. Or, we talk about things, or him giving me advice all the time. It's always like, let's go do something.
Yeah.
So that really pushed me to be able to get stuff done, because
that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And that's what you need. But I think even beyond those things, don't stop learning about, like I said, other podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Other books. I know reading books, it's not my MO, right?
Yep.
But I'm an Audible freak. And
there
so I'm constantly, Jake and I listen to a ton of podcasts. You know what I mean? And I think that the more you can do that, the more it'll be helpful.
Yeah.
So you guys do some Zillow stuff. What do you think of all that?
I think it's good. There's definitely, it's definitely a lot because we pay for a lot of lead sources like Zillow, Realtor.com, and I mean plenty more. And some of them can get expensive, and so some of them we see return rates, but it's only like in the past 2 years we gained like 10,000 for the team.
Right.
And so it's like, is that really worth it or not? And like, or should we implement other ideas? So Zillow has been amazing. A couple of other lead sources and generations, just there are a lot of stale leads, nothing too good. So we're looking into kind of new ideas and new ways to do it because Zillow is eventually going to pull the plug too.
Yeah, I mean, it's there. Yes, I agree 100%, and I've done them all. And it is all about the ROI.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think that so how has that been though? Because a great buddy of mine, Chris Smith, who owns Curator, talks about nurturing leads.
Yep.
And so often, and I even see this with myself, is that you call for the first 3-4 times, then it's gone. But they say that the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th time is kind of when they start coming back to you.
The follow-up's one of the biggest things in this industry for sure.
Do you find that? Do you have a good system to do that?
I have a good implemented, like with our CRM that we have. It's got like tasks in like every day, so I don't like forget to do different things, and I can set to reach out to this person in a week, which is super nice.
Yeah.
And we're super big on like our constant reach out and like keep egging them on because there's so many people on our team who, like you said, 7th, 8th, 9th reach out of not hearing from them. Bam, now you got a deal rolling.
And it's consistency and I think persistent, right?
Yep.
Because, I mean, you're going to get told to F off, hung up on, but that's part of the deal. Yep. And that's okay. It's just buying a car is a prime example. I get on Facebook and I look up a car in Marketplace. Next thing I know, I'm getting bombarded by BS cars all the time.
Yep.
Well, if you're not in the market anymore, right? You're not in the market.
You're not,
and therefore, but you have to have a tough skin to do that. Do you have that?
Yeah, I think it's hard to get over at first. That was one of the things that I struggled with a lot, is just being able to press call and call people. But really, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? They're gonna say F you, or you're gonna hang up. Next one. This is a business, and I gotta create me to get business somehow. So and it's like a couple FUs, what's that gonna do? So
let's touch base on open houses. So you get people in front of you. Okay. And it's easy to have a conversation with them and feel good like you did something.
Yep.
Do you close? Tell me about your closing technique. You know what I mean? I mean, it's because once they leave.
Yep. So that's something I've been working on a lot because, following up with open house leads are like super important.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of new ways for like an open or like a sign-in sheet, because I haven't been doing one because I feel like it's kind of like turns them off, or maybe the conversations won't roll as nice. But now I'm kind of just thinking I'll put one out, and if they sign it, they sign it. If they don't, they don't. I'll just try my conversations. But usually people seem to like me. I can get people to like get comfortable with me, loosen up, and I'm a very caring person. So once someone feels comfortable with me, like it's pretty easy. And then after that, it's just how committed of a buyer they are.
Yeah.
Like if they're committed and don't have a representation, it usually works out for me to like get their contact information. But if it's like a neighbor, or if it's like someone who's just coming by in, those ones are a little bit harder that I'm trying to work on to figure out.
Yeah, but I think though, Jack, and this is all part of the learning experience, you know what I mean? And you have to get a sense of what the deal is. But people expect that stuff. They expect to put information on there, and if they're going to give you bullshit, they give you bullshit.
Yep.
But I mean, on the flip side, the responsibility that you have is to the seller, that they need to know who's rolling through their home.
Yep.
And if the people don't want to do that, you got to get kind of worried about it. You know what I mean? But I think that there's, I read a great book, Start With No. right? Push people to say, are you buying? No, we're not. At least you know kind of where to start from. They're in an open house. They're looking through the house.
Yep. There's a reason they're there.
You're not at a, you go to Best Buy. And I always love the salespeople that come up to you and go, can I help you? What, well, we're to do, you have nothing to do but come to Best Buy and just look around.
Yeah, no.
Of course you're there for a reason. And so it's how do you pull that out of them?
Yep.
But don't be it's nice to be a nice guy. Mm-hmm. How do you close that gap?
I think it's, just being like, if I came up to that situation of someone not wanting to sign something for like the sellers, I think turning it back on them to be like, put them in this person's shoes. I'm very good at like looking at how the other people feel.
Yeah.
And that's what usually helps me out a lot.
Yeah.
And so like, oh, you don't want to sign this? Well, what if you were selling your house and like you had people coming through? Would you probably want to know who's in just in case something happens?
Yes, absolutely.
And then bam, now you're through that objection onto the next one.
And I mean, even if you follow up with them, the key is following up with them.
Yes.
Right?
Just saying like a hey, we talked in the open house. I don't know if you remember me. I'd love to like grab a coffee sometime or just chat and see how your home search is going.
Is it are you finding buddies your age going, man, maybe I should be buying a home? Or how do you push them? Because renting a home is brutal, or renting an apartment is expensive. How do you push them to say, let's put you into a position to buy a year from now?
That one's tricky.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely certain people in my life that are around my age that just aren't mature enough or ready for that.
Yeah.
And then there's those people that could be there, but I think it's so widely pushed out that like it's hard to buy a house.
Correct.
And so I think a lot of my friends are starting to realize, wait, is it that hard? Because they're seeing everything that's happening and they're talking to me and they're communicating, and it's just, I think the more they keep seeing what I'm doing, the more I communicate with them and talk and make them feel comfortable. I think that's my goal, is just to make them feel comfortable.
My 2 cents would be, know the first-time homebuyer mortgage programs.
Yep.
There are so many programs right now where people can come in with gifted money. They can get down payment assistance. They can walk in with $1,000 out of their pocket.
Yep.
But more importantly is they can also have 2 or 3 buddies renting from them.
And now they aren't paying for a house and they're just growing equity. Yep.
And so those are the market savvy people that you want to be educating them with first-time homebuyer seminars. And I do a lot of them. And they're phenomenal because people don't know.
No.
And what they don't know, it's your responsibility to you talk to them, but educate them on it. And
100%. I think I've already got some. So I work at Maynard's and Rogers too as a server.
Yeah, nice.
And I'm working that place as best as I can. But I got some like coworkers there that serve, and they make pretty decent money. And I've already just kind of told them how investing could work and how, and just working through that way, because you're servers, you don't really have a retirement fund set up. You don't have all these other things. So just showing them what they could be able to do, I think just totally changed their mind too. So that's my goal. Yeah. Educating the people who aren't educated.
Well, and I think feed off title companies, people like myself, to help how do you handle tips?
Yep.
How is this commission world handled? There's so many different products in the mortgage world, whether it's bank statements, whether it's, like I said, DSCRs, where, people are buying investment properties, and does the lease cover the deal?
Yeah. Is it going to cash flow right away?
Now you're into a deal, and gifted money and these things. I think that I know there's people that say stay in your lane, but you have to know, what is the title company all about? What is title insurance about? What is mortgage about? Because those assets help you.
Yes. Yeah. I think just keep learning. That's my goal, is just try to keep learning every day myself.
Yeah.
And keep acknowledging myself, because the more I know, the more it's just going to come out in conversations with people in my life too.
So I want 3 people's advice to you: TK, Tyler Miller, and the DeRochers, because I know they speak to you guys as a group. What are some tidbits you've picked up from these top-notch studs?
The one thing that they all are very big on is just persistence and just like an everyday rhythm. You got to get a schedule every day, and you got to do that same thing every single day. And then that's when you'll start to see it all. It just needs to be an everyday thing. You just got to do it, and you just set away whatever's on your mind, and you just got to do it. That's what they all say.
Do you time block?
Yeah. So that's kind of going along with the time blocking and sticking to it. I think the biggest thing is they all know that people do time block and do all these things, but it's not, they don't actually end up doing it all.
Right.
So I think the biggest thing that I've taken away from all 3 of those top producers is persistency, and just do it over and over again every day. And you'll see
I think
success.
you're spot on. I mean, I think that it is so spot on, and to have the goal and to not deviate from that.
Yes.
Because it's easy. Yeah, I'm commissioned. Some days I feel like, I'm in a different position than you are. But there's days where you just say, I'm going to play golf.
Yep.
And
it's so easy to say that too.
Well, and you got the best golfer in the actual country with Brady.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I mean, seriously, Brady, you turned pro, bro.
Hey, Picked real estate though.
Don't just stay focused with the real estate, But how has he been for you as a mentor?
He's changed my business completely. I wouldn't be where I'm at. I wouldn't have the mindset I do either. He's just been able to be like, come on, dude, in certain situations, or he's always there. I'll call him all the time over, even if it's stupid, I'll call him and he'll just be like, and we'll talk through it. And it's just been, I couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He motivates me, and Jake and I talk about this often, about how great he is on video. But that's his deal. And that's, he's bought a home.
Yep.
He's soon to be married. Probably another 5-6 babies on the way. I'm just saying.
Hey, Maddie's gonna convince him.
Maddie's gonna work it hard.
Yep.
Kids. Sorry, Brady. But it's all good. But he is a tremendous mentor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I couldn't recommend more to get a mentor, and having someone that you can relate to, and just him being young and him going through the same things that I'm going through right now, and him understanding just what things he had to put his head down for, and he going through everything he went through, and him knowing the answers or knowing the solution, supposedly, it's been a game changer.
Well, and he's the same age as you are.
Yeah.
It's harder to listen to an old fart like myself, or to somebody, but when you got somebody that is your peer, that you can relate to, that's solid.
Yeah, I think that the biggest game changer for sure. I would not be where I'm at without Brady. So,
well, Jack, here's the deal: you are going to be amazing at what you do, and that's why I had you back on, because I just applaud you how you're learning, and how you're actively engaged in this business, because it's a hard business. But if you listen to those people, mentor, and if you get bummed out, pick up the phone, call me, call Brady, call any of these people, because I'll get you fired up, because the business itself is the greatest business you'll ever have. You're your own boss. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so just keep firing up on it.
Yep.
And I appreciate you coming on as a Realtor of the Week, buddy.
Well, I appreciate you having me. I appreciate you always giving me the advice too, Just learning from everybody is honestly I enjoy it. Yeah. I really do. Just hearing everyone's what they're passionate about too. So
well, and it's cool. You got an amazing team, Tyler and TK, and you guys have done an amazing job with these people, because it's hard to take new people into this business. I mean, it's always everybody wants the hitters.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, but that ain't easy.
No.
You know, and there's a reason why people move. So let them mold you and keep learning from the best. And I appreciate you tremendously, my friend.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, man. You guys in the Realtor Connect group, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We're very, very close to getting to 1,000 realtors in the group.
There we go.
And it's solid,
there
you know.
Go.
And but without you guys, we got nothing. So thank you very much for being here. If you ever have interest in coming on the show and being interviewed, I'd be honored to do it. I learned from the best, and we got YouTube, which is Realtor of the Week, and also Instagram. So these guys do some tremendous quotes. That's where we're sharing clips on Instagram. So thank you very much for all visiting with us, and we appreciate you tremendously, Jack.
Thank you,
brother. Realtor of the Week.
Yeah.
Have a great week, everybody.
Yeah.